Hello and welcome back to Irrelevant Topics. Today we got a pretty cool story for you. It's a local one. It happened locally. We are in Vancouver, BC, and it happened in like the heart of Vancouver. Really cool story. And so
It's Gabriola Mansion.
Yeah.
So Gabriola Mansion is on Davie Street. It's Davie and Nicola. So right in downtown, really prime real estate, downtown Vancouver in the West End. And it is, what's really cool about Gabriola Mansion is that it's over 100 years old. And it is considered the most haunted house in Vancouver.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah. It has
Very
a really fascinating history, which we'll start with the history and then some theories of what goes on there. Yeah. So it was the original. Some people actually call it the Roger Sugar Mansion because it was by the original owner of Roger Sugar and founder of the Roger Sugar back at the turn of the century, and so he created the mansion, which was even in its time, it was one of the nicest houses in the area, though it was comparable because that was sort of the wealthiest area of town at the time before everyone moved from there to go.
And there's other houses there, right?
Yeah, there were other houses at the time. And so anyway, but it has really kind of a sordid past because I guess the someone in the house, whether it was him or not, was affiliated with a nightclub, Maxine's nightclub down the street. And
there's this cool theory. I don't think it's proven, but there's like an underground tunnel from the house leading to the nightclub, and it's super cool. There's like a tunnel.
Yeah, that hasn't been absolutely confirmed, but no one has said it's not there. So I believe that maybe it was once there. Yeah, it probably because of development between there and between the Gabriola Mansion and Bidwell Street, that the development there has probably eliminated the tunnel. Yeah, because I'm willing to bet that in the basement of Gabriola House, there's a door that leads to the store.
I believe, I believe it was there one. It's not might not be there anymore to do like
because they brought alcohol there back and forth. They had prostitutes and alcohol back in the Prohibition days.
Yeah. So really cool house.
And one of the theories of why it's one of the most haunted houses is because there's several reasons. There's from past, kind of present, and maybe even future. Is the son of the Roger Sugar owner? He killed himself.
That's crazy.
So apparently he jumped from the second floor of the building and killed himself.
Oh, the second floor. He died from that.
He jumped from upper window. I guess you can if you jump from high enough. So. I mean, no one knows why. I can't find much information about that. But what I did do was look into that because it's the most haunted house in Vancouver, and there's so many reports of sightings there. Yeah. I mean, I've walked by there many times at night, and it kind of creeps me out. And there have been a few times where I actually think I have seen faces in the window. And, yes, they film movies there, but when there's nobody there, it's odd to sort of see a face in the window and kind of creeps me out, but you never know. But so that's what sort of led me to looking into the history of it, right? And that's when I found that. And then there have been many, because it's been a couple different restaurants in the past.
Yeah, Macaroni Grill. Yeah. And then there's one, I think... Oh, really?
It was the Keg. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was the Keg. It was the Keg and then Macaroni Grill. But then workers there would see things like in the kitchen. They would see cutlery moving. And I think even people dining would see. Yeah,
I did read that myself too, that like customers there, like while they were eating dinner, would see kitchenware floating in the air randomly at times, and there's weird occurrences like that.
And people, like there's a story of someone doing renovations, a painter in there saw someone standing at the foot of the stairs and said, "Hi, who are you? Who are you?" And then the person didn't move, and then when he went up there was no one there. Sort of a lot of.
And he ran from the
everyone
building
runs.
too.
Everyone runs.
Yeah, right? And then another story, a chef was like, I don't know, in the kitchen cleaning dishes or whatever, and he heard like banging of pots and pans, and he went into the kitchen to see in another room. And there's nobody there, and all the pots and pans were on the floor just lying there. Then he ran out of the mansion. So really cool.
Well, I think with the whole tunnel thing, and then the son committing suicide, and the father died too. So the father died.
Did he die in the house?
I believe he died in the house. I don't know if that's a fact, but he did die young. Like he was 52 or 50 in his early 50s. So so there's a theory he could be one of the ghosts of people, the men people see. And then there's the more recent, which is
Yeah,
a very sad story, but it's. I mean, there's maybe some of the more recent ghosts that haunt there. People have reported seeing a young woman walking the grounds.
Yeah,
and I mean, I haven't seen anything to that extent myself walking by there, but there have been reports, and I actually have some friends who've said they've seen it, and they believe that it's and it's just one sec. I'm gonna have to. It's Natsumi Kogawa.
yes.
Is who people think it is, and this is a sad story. And she unfortunately was found.
She went missing.
Yeah,
right. She went missing, and there was this
3 weeks.
picture of her and this unknown man with her at the time, walking with her. It was the last seen photo of her, and then a couple weeks later, they
Her
found
body there in a suitcase.
I don't know the full story if he said he killed her beforehand.
No, well, he never admitted to killing her, so it's another kind of mystery of the Gabriella mentioned.
Yeah, he found her body.
Her body was someone found her body there. The suitcase was
Stuffed
left
up
there.
in the suitcase in the grounds of Gabriella
And then
Mansion.
they charged him because he was the last person seen with
that
her.
photo of her.
They had video
link in the
surveillance.
description. You can see the photo.
Yeah, they had video surveillance of them. I guess near, I think it was at Harborfront, so on Hastings Street. Video surveillance showed them together. So that was one of the last times she was ever seen.
Yeah.
He was the last person. So that's what they figured who he was that questioned him. And then when he was charged, he's always pled not guilty to her murder. But he was found guilty.
He said that he didn't kill her, but he put her body in the suitcase.
He did. Well, first he said not guilty to putting the body in the suitcase. And then I think he may have changed his plea, thinking that he would probably get away with that. It's an indignity.
Well, then he was charged too, and trial for hiding human remains or something like that.
So
right?
he was charged with that, I believe, but he always has pled not guilty to murdering her. But so if he didn't do it, who did it? And then why would these are all missing parts of the story. Why would he leave her?
And there's no evidence found. There was no forensic evidence of him killing her.
And there's no details to be found anywhere. So if you see this and you do have more details in the story, please, we would love to hear your comments. And because maybe he was alive when he put her in the suitcase, or maybe he wasn't even the one who put her in the suitcase.
Yeah, it's very, very weird story, and I know this sounds weird, but when you see his picture online, he just looks like a regular dude.
Yeah, he looks like a regular
I know, sometimes when you see a murderer, or you're like, oh yeah, that guy looks creepy. He looks like a murderer, and then you can't always judge a book by its cover, but this guy just looks like.
So it's so it's just further sort of. I don't want to call it the curse of Gabriella mentioned, but it's just further.
Well, does he cursed? I mean, he's haunted.
Ghosts that are appearing there.
Yeah.
Right? So unfortunately, and again, sadly, she's probably is one of the more recent additions to the ghosts.
2016, I believe. Yeah.
It was just a couple years ago, and there's been sightings of her. So
ghost sightings, not actual.
No, ghost sightings.
Yeah.
So and it's such a sketchy story as to how she died and where she died and what happened. That sort of really lends itself to the person becoming a ghost.
Yeah, weird story. I guess we say our theories now.
Yeah.
Our slight theories. I don't really have too much of a new, different theory, but I believe that maybe it was. Oh, this is a hard one because I don't know.
How she died?
Yeah, because there's not other theories on the internet that you might take ideas from. Own ideas.
Yeah.
It's weird because we don't know if she was murdered there in the mansion, around the mansion, then put the suitcase there, or she was murdered somewhere else and then brought in the suitcase to the mansion. Because I don't know how hard it would be. It would be suspicious to put a body in a suitcase, zip it up, and then pull it. It's just normal, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think it was probably him. But,
it's just normal if you're putting a suitcase, you don't know if the body in there or not. So he could have done it in broad daylight, even at nighttime. It looks suspicious, a guy pulling a suitcase. I don't think you can really tell there's a body in there, so it's very weird.
Pretty heavy suitcase.
Yeah. So it's weird. I think that he probably did it. It sounds like because he said he was always not guilty, but I think he did try to kill himself too after he said.
Well,
There was all these
something to that
different.
effect,
It's
that
a
he
weird
was
story
himself.
too, and he seems like a weird guy. Obviously, so
Well,
maybe
apparently
he put a body in the
apparently
suitcase.
he was
not
homeless,
killing.
right? And there's video surveillance of him staying with a suitcase and not returning with the suitcase. I think it was kind of the final, like, kind of one of the final reasons why they felt he was guilty.
So yeah, that's my theory. I guess that he killed her. I mean, I don't know how many other theories there are. But
Well, it could be somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been with someone else. He had a brother who was all involved.
Yeah.
There was other people. I mean, who knows? Maybe, apparently he was homeless, and that what they do is they go hang out in his tent together. Because when they were seen walking, standing back in the tent. So maybe
That's so weird.
maybe something happened to her with others in the tent, or maybe they got attacked in the tent. Maybe, I mean, there's I think a publication ban on it, so they won't disclose any of the excuses or anything.
Which is really weird.
Anything he says
I don't know
or
why that's-
anything. Yeah, they won't disclose any. It's very hard to find information on it. But yeah, so there's certain possibilities. But if anyone has any other ideas, and like I said, if you ever are in Vancouver, I highly recommend you go hang out, spend some time. If you're interested in this, just walk around the block, walk by the Gabriel Mansion, see what you can see.
maybe not
I'm
alone.
fairly certain that you're going to see something there, whether it's someone from the bootlegging days or the suicide or
Yeah, it's very weird. And she wasn't even from here. She was visiting here on a student visa, I believe. A student.
Yeah.
Was visiting Vancouver. So
anyway,
vacation turned deathly.
exactly.
Student trip turned deathly. So I think that's about all we
That's
have
about Gabriel
for
Mansion.
our
Check it out.
theories. It's very.
We might go
good
through some
story.
videos. Some
Maybe we'll
some
go there,
videos.
check it out, take
Yeah.
a video of
Kind of
it.
To be continued, possibly a
Yeah.
part two. So you
Part
can
two,
kind of
question
for that.
mark.
We'll maybe go do some taping there, do a little video there.
So enjoy the video. That was relevant topics. Check out our first video, at Lisa Lamb. Brand new
Subscribe.
theories. Very cool video. First video. It's pretty good. We'll have other videos out soon. And thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Share it around. Thanks, guys.